They mocked her old jacket until a general recognized the patch and froze. She stood alone at the edge of the school parking lot, arms folded tightly across her chest, the cold biting through the frayed sleeves of a jacket 2 sizes too large and a decade too old. Laughter rolled across the asphalt like thunder from a clear sky, sharp, juvenile, cruel. "Nice jacket, Grandma," one boy sneered, flipping his skateboard up and catching it with one hand. His voice was laced with the cocky arrogance of someone who'd never been humbled by real life. "Did you find it in a dumpster, or is it vintage beggar chic?" The others cackled behind him, emboldened by the circle they'd formed. One girl wrinkled her nose and added, "Is that a grease stain, or just part of the design?" But the woman didn't move, didn't flinch. Her face remained unreadable calm, carved from stone, eyes shadowed beneath the bill of her cap. Just one thing stirred in the wind, the stitched patch on her shoulder. Faded, frayed at the edges, but unmistakable to anyone who knew. The same patch that had been feared and revered across deserts, mountains, and battlefields. And just 20 feet away, stepping out of his SUV with the slow, practiced grace of a man who had seen things few lived to tell, a 4-star general stopped mid-step. His gaze landed on the patch, and he froze. The woman didn't return the stares, didn't speak. She was tall, weathered, but unbroken. Her jacket hung loose over her lean frame, more utility than style, with seams once reinforced for war zones, now simply holding memories. Her boots were worn, soles nearly smooth, but she still stood taller than any of the teens around her. She didn't look homeless, exactly, but something about her carried the gravity of someone who had lived through winters far colder than this. One of the boys picked up a crushed soda can and tossed it toward her feet. "Hey, look, maybe she's a time traveler from the Iraq War." Another chimed in, No, she's just a psycho in camo." She still didn't move. Only the wind answered. But the general, he began walking again, slower now, eyes locked onto that patch, that single, forgotten symbol so few civilians would ever recognize. And the silence between steps became a tension wire ready to snap. Her name was Elena Mara. Before the world forgot her, before the uniform was folded into memory, Elena had been the kind of soldier who moved unseen but left echoes behind. She served under Joint Special Operations Task Force Ember, a classified coalition that didn't exist on paper but had altered the course of quiet wars. She'd seen cities crumble in silence, held dying comrades in her arms, whispering lies about going home soon. She'd crawled through deserts where the sun melted sanity, and jungles where nothing grew but death. Her hands, now tucked deep into her coat pockets, had once pulled civilians from burning wreckage, had carried a wounded child 3 miles through sniper fire, had written her father's name on a body bag tag because they wouldn't let her bury him herself. She came home with medals no one ever saw, files sealed by silence, and a back broken, not by shrapnel, but by the weight of secrets too heavy for the world that awaited her. Her return was not met with parades, just bills, silence, empty apartment rooms where night sweats and ghost limbs visited more often than friends. She lost jobs to panic attacks, avoided crowds, slept with a knife near her pillow. But she endured. The patch on her jacket, faded gray, with a crimson ember stitched in the center, was the last remnant of her unit. Everyone else was gone. Kia, suicide, disappeared. Only Elena remained. And she never talked about it. Not even now. The general's boots tapped across the pavement. The teenagers, oblivious, continued their barrage. "You want us to call someone for you?" the tall one mocked, twirling his keys. "Maybe the psych ward?" "Dude," another whispered, "why is she just standing there? That's creepy." A teacher nearby glanced over, but didn't intervene. Parents walked past, eyes averted, caught between disapproval and discomfort. No one spoke. She was just another silent ghost in a world too busy for ghosts. But the general, he was still moving. His eyes now filled not with confusion, but recognition, and something else. Grief. He knew that patch. Had seen it once, years ago, in a debriefing after a rescue mission where a team that wasn't supposed to exist had pulled a diplomat's daughter from a collapsing compound. The mission had failed on paper, but one life had been saved. That patch had shown up in the corner of a blurry photo. Ember Unit. His whisper was barely audible. No way. The tall boy stepped closer. You got anything to say, lady? Or are you just gonna stand there like a mannequin? She blinked, once. Slowly. Then turned her head just slightly, not toward him, but toward the school entrance, where a young girl, maybe 10, maybe 11, came running out the door, holding a piece of colored paper in one hand and a chocolate bar in the other. The girl spotted Elena and lit up. Mom. The mocking laughter froze mid-breath. The girl ran straight into Elena's arms. I got Student of the Week. Look, and Miss Ramirez gave me chocolate. Elena knelt slowly, her jacket creaking with old seams, and hugged the girl tight. She didn't speak, just smiled. That's when the general reached the edge of the circle, and everything stopped. 6. Unexpected power shift. The general's voice was calm, low, but carried like thunder. Ma'am, permission to speak freely? The teenagers turned. He wasn't wearing dress blues, just a black windbreaker. But on his chest, in gold and silver, gleamed a single lapel pin. 4 stars. The tall boy blinked. Wait. The general stepped forward and saluted her. Not casual. Not symbolic. A real salute. Full posture. Eyes forward. Hand to brow. And Elena nodded once. He dropped his hand. Forgive me. I should have recognized you sooner. She stood, her daughter holding her hand. Ember Unit, he said softly. You pulled my brother out of a bunker in Kunduz. He didn't make it, but because of you, he got to say goodbye. She simply nodded again. The kids were silent now, all of them. No jeers, no smirks, just confusion and the dawning realization that the woman they'd mocked had once walked through hell so they could skateboard and gossip in peace. Elena looked at her daughter and finally spoke, voice low, but unwavering. I don't need them to know who I was. I just need her to know who I am. A silence settled over the parking lot, not awkward now, but reverent. One by one, people began to notice the general standing in still salute beside a woman in a tattered jacket, with a child clutching her leg and a patch on her arm older than half the cars in the lot. The teacher who'd hesitated stepped forward, another parent, then another, not speaking, just watching. And slowly, almost awkwardly at first, the tall boy lowered his head. I'm sorry, he muttered. No response. He didn't deserve one yet. But he stepped back. The girl next to him put away her phone, suddenly ashamed of the video she'd been recording. Elena turned and walked with her daughter toward the sidewalk, boots hitting pavement like distant drums. The general watched her go, then looked at the crowd. Remember that patch, he said, because if you ever sleep in peace, it's because someone like her didn't. She never spoke of her missions, never wore medals, never asked for thanks. But somewhere, stitched into the fabric of an old jacket, was the story of a soldier who gave everything and asked for nothing in return. And on that gray day, in a school parking lot filled with teenage arrogance and casual cruelty, the world remembered, if only for a moment, what silent strength looks like. Not loud, not proud, just unshakable, just honorable, just. Elena, where are you watching from? If this story moved you, share your thoughts in the comments. Let us know how you honor the silent heroes in your life. And don't forget to subscribe for more real stories that remind us of what truly matters. Silent dignity is not weakness. It's a different kind of power. One the world forgets until it stands in front of it and remembers to salute.